Texas was a valuable place to Americans because it was good for producing cotton, a valuable cash crop. The story starts when a banker and businessman named Moses Austin had a desire to start an American colony in Spanish Texas. Spanish officials gave Austin a large amount of land. When Moses died, his son Stephen took over the land. Stephen made it to Texas right about the time it became a part of Mexico. Austin agreed to Mexican terms and attracted 297 families. This time period was called the Old 300. Austin had great success with his colony. Tensions aroused when there were 25,000 Texans. Americans were against having official documents in Spanish, slavery being abolished, and taking orders from Spanish officials. Texans also had complaints that these Americans were immigrants with little respect for American culture. Texas was then closed to further immigration. There were hotheads and there were cooler heads. Hotheads wanted revolution, while cooler heads wanted immigration to reopen. Austin went to the head of the Mexican government with the Texans' demands. The government tossed him in jail for promoting rebellion. Texans rose in anger. Santa Anna, a Mexican official, sent 6,000 troops north. Once Santa Anna's troops arrived in San Antonio, only 180 Texan volunteers were defending the city against 6,000 troops. Santa Anna was determined and expected the Texans to surrender, but instead, shots were fired. The Texans were outnumbered from at least 1 to 10. Mexicans pounded the Alamo for 12 days, and on March 6, Santa Anna ordered to invade the fort. The battle only lasted 90 minutes, and all of the Alamo's defenders were dead. The commander of the Texan army, Sam Houston, understood the Texans' rage. He led Santa Anna and his troops eastward, making it harder for him to support himself and troops. Houston's troops did a surprise attack on the Texans. Santa Anna tried to run away, but he was caught and captured. In exchange to be released, he ordered for the rest of his troops to leave Texas. Texans then won their independence. Texas was now an independent country, but America wanted it to join as a state. Northerners wanted to keep Texas out of America because they knew the South wanted it as a slave state. In 1845, Texas was admitted as the 28th state. After President Polk got new Texas territory, he wanted to expand America as far as it could go. He had his eye on California, New Mexico, and was very determined to get the new territory. Polk thought these territories would be for sale, because since they originally belonged to Spain but became neglected Mexican territory, they might be on the market. War in Texas begins when Congress voted on taking it. Mexico saw it as stating war. Then Texas and Mexico argued over the borderline between the two territories. Texas offered a suggestion, but Mexico pushed it back 150 miles. Polk had a speech stating that Mexico has invaded our territory and shed American blood on American soil. 2 days after his speech, war on Mexico was declared. A few months later, a general led the army west to try and conquer New Mexico and California. The American army easily got control of New Mexico with no violence. When they reached California, they rebelled against Mexican rule. Within weeks, all of California was under American government. The war in northern Mexico between Zachary Taylor's troops and Mexican troops ended in both armies being harmed badly. But instead of a Mexican official, Santa Anna, losing his remaining troops, he went back south and the war was over. A month later, the American troops fought their way to Mexico City. They fought and some died to defend the fortress. Even though all of the resistance they had, Scott's army captured Mexico City. Finally, Mexico signed the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo to give up Texas. In return, America gave Mexico $15 million and promised to protect Mexicans in Texas. There was lots of opposition to the treaty. The Senate decided to ratify the treaty. America then acquired more land from sea to sea. Until the Mexican War, people thought that America was too good of a country to bully weaker nations neighboring them. Now, they know it was the dark side of the manifest destiny.